fork in the road coming up,
Yes.
that's what he was talking about, if
Okay.
you took the right.
Yeah, and it'll be on your left.
As I came round and I had to turn left, that is a stop sign, isn't it?
Yes, there is a
It
stop
is, but
sign.
it wasn't.
It wasn't near the line.
It's not really clear for me to what. I was like,
Yeah.
because the road looks like it's just a continuation and it's not a junction.
Yeah.
And I was saying, hold on, is that a stop sign? Should I? And I was just like, well, I better stop.
Yes, yeah.
When in doubt.
Yeah, almost always a white bar across the lane. But they wear out and they don't get repainted sometimes.
Oh. Gosh, I could have a porch snooze. So relaxing.
It is.
I think we should get one of those.
Yeah, I think we're going to get a swing here sometime.
Yeah, well, we don't.
Yeah.
Do you have swings where you can actually kind of put your feet up?
Oh, the swings on the porch? Oh, sure. Yeah, you can put your feet up on the swings on the porch and swing back pretty far. When I was a kid, I remember we could swing back quite as far as we could, you know, on the porch swings.
But you were very short. Your legs were very short, so maybe that's what they were.
Well, that could be too, but we would, the older ones that got on that little longer leg, you know, would push us back as far as we could go back.
Touch the ceiling?
Yeah, not quite that far.
Oh, if I could hear.
But you don't have porches then, really, in England. You have little stoops, right?
We have little stoops. I mean, if it's raining, there'll be a little ledge or a stoop just to protect any people coming to the door from rain or whatever. They have tiny little porch or stoop. Sometimes there's a little, literally for one person or two, but just to shelter from the wet rain at the door. But no, I ought to look into it.
Do you sit out in the back?
We have gardens
Little
and we
gardens,
have kind of
yes.
patios and terraces. But it's all very much about using the back garden. Mm-hmm. And we have front gardens, but there isn't ever anything, there's flower beds or anything.
Right.
There's never this sort of, and that's what, got me really interested. I was interested in this sort of in-between semi-private, semi-public space, so you can kind of visit, but you don't go in necessarily. So you're visiting in a kind of limbo land that's slightly separate from the real domestic family life. And then, it's kind of I don't know whether it's a no man's land, a neutral land, or just sort of in-between territory that is very relaxing and peaceful. I don't know, that's what captured my imagination when I kept seeing this space that kind of needed to be used in my mind. I was thinking, where are the people? Because last year nobody was on them when I was looking. And it's interesting to see how much they are used and what they're used for. And, and I guess they're just treasured objects, house objects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you'd use it, you use your back porch and deck now?
Pretty much, yeah, now.
Yeah, very, very seldom.
Because we take our food there at night, and then you just end up staying there and chatting or whatever.
Yeah.
But before we had that, definitely, we were, and I think that when the kids were younger too, there seemed to be more people sitting out every night. People would be sitting out in their porches all along here. And the Pattersons, when they lived next door, they were always out. I remember the first time we came to look at this house. We're on our way up to look at another house, and the real estate agent said, we were looking for a barn. Real estate agent said, well, this house just came on the market. It has a barn, but it also has a house. And I said, well, stop, because I was wondering, well, what would we do while we're converting this barn? Where would we stay? And the Pattersons were sitting out on their porch when we came in. And I remember them, oh yeah, I do, because I think we went over and said hello to them. But they were probably very curious to know
Oh, yes.
who might
Who
be
might be,
interested
yeah.
in
Who bought the Hannah place, you know?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Or who are these
public
people and what are they like? And, yeah. What kind of neighbors will they be?
I remember Alice and Dawn came over when we happened to be out there the
Mhm.
first summer we came over.
After we bought the house. Yeah. Yeah. But
But
yeah.
it is, I mean, did people, this idea of it's your summer home, did you have, people who are permanent residents here, kind of not like the fact that people come in just for the summer and have, because we have a little bit of the second homer syndrome,
Yeah.
where, you're incomers and, there's a little bit of, well, for instance, various areas, a little bit of resentment from the local people because you're not there all the time. And my sister had a weekend house in Dorset for many years and went between the city and the countryside, and eventually has permanently moved to the countryside and sold the house. Her husband retired, and it's just quite interesting. And that shift of her, she feels like she's a proper resident now, and but that hasn't ever.
I don't think so. I mean, our neighbors have always been so nice to us. I don't know what we would have done when we were here without the Coldwells, because I think that, there were times we didn't have any water, and I'd go over there and get my water and do my laundry
They
there.
say, come and have a bath.
Yeah, exactly. Do the laundry. I mean, they've always been very, very pleasant and open, and we've had good times. And do sort of last minute, bring your dinner over and let's have dinner together. And
Well, like the other evening, I was just added go for coffee and pie.
yeah, that's right. Right, just come over and
Yeah, it's really
last night
fun.
Alice came home and I said, well, I called up and no answer. I said, well, if you're home in the next 10 minutes, come on over and have dinner with us. And then the three of us went down and had some ice cream. Have you been to the creamery yet?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Only once though so far in a
Yeah.
couple of weeks, so
Yeah.
that's not bad going.
No.
Yeah, I was taken there. We'd gone somewhere, and they said, "Oh, on the way back, can we have an ice cream?" And they had the carts out. Good ice cream.
Delicious, It's just great the way people reinvent themselves, when it's necessary to
Yeah,
do that, and they're successful at it.
What was it? Always a dairy farm.
Dairy farm. They were
And
dairy
now
farmers.
it's kind of
Yeah, and a lot of the farms around here now, the other one down the road there, their milk goes to Cabot for cheese. They make
Cabot
cheese,
cheese.
Cabot cheese.
oh right.
And the son started with having. I just have a little case there. You can go and get your milk. Started with milk. And what was great about it is there's a register, cash register there, and you go in and you get your milk and you make your own change and you leave. Which is not.
So it's
I
like that honor system.
I like
was
that.
saying.
Yeah. And then a few years ago, he went to making ice cream.
The cash registers there, it's turned around for you to use, and he's fixed it so it can't close all the way.
Right.
And you make your change there, put your money in, and take your change. Completely unknown system, which I have never seen. Never seen that kind of trust.
Yeah. Well, I was talking about it a little bit the other day because I'm really fascinated in rural communities. It's where I live in Suffolk and Norfolk. You see it, and the excess produce from your